With a heart for songwriting, a passion for singing developed much later in life for this young man. Taking a detour to defend his country, SHERROD Smith quickly learned his strengths as well as his weaknesses. He joins us today to share his talents and his triumphs on Marquee Backstage.
It's been a long day coming, please pardon me. Lost at sea, nobody, and forgiveness lies in between. And child cry, yeah, I wanna be. And sometimes I feel and feelings and explain something I can't hear. And underneath greatness there's someone, and even I get stuck sometimes.
For as long as I can remember, I've always been a drummer or a beater. In school, especially like grade school, I would get in a lot of trouble because I would be taking my pencils and beating on things. And I never forget like my 7th grade teacher. Like I think that was like the teacher that hated the most, because I'd be beating on stuff during an exam, and she was like, "SHERROD Smith, leave the room, take your test outside." So that was really my inspiration in humming. Believe it or not, when I was like 5 or 6, I like developed humming and stuff like that. Like I used to hum all the time. And I would like make the drum noises like, you know, stuff like that. And then I developed like the bass and the piano. You know, I put that in there, and it was like, you know, my dad actually was like, "What is that thing that you do with your mouth?" It's like that. I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like that, and I was like, "Oh, that's a craft." And he's like, "Oh, okay." So I don't know. I was probably like 9 when he asked me that, but that was really what promoted me. I guess it just was so natural. Like I didn't think about it. I joined in high school back in 2015. That's when I graduated. I was a truck driver, driving 915s and LHSs, so civilian world, that's like the 18-wheelers that you see on the highway. So I was a truck driver, and I was nominated, so in basic training in AIT, like I said, I just always be humming and stuff like that. So people like, you know, they call me Smith because we use last names, so they was like Tall Smith because it was like 4 other Smiths. I'm like 6'4", right? So they're like Tall Smith, and they're like, Tall Smith's always singing. So one of my sergeants is like, you should try out, you know, try out for the national anthem. And, you know, it was a bunch of people in there. We had to audition, and I actually ended up singing the national anthem. I won the audition. So that was pretty cool. And but she told me, she said, you should look for the Army band when you get out. And she's like, there's a way to kind of do that, you know, see if you can get in. But the thing with them is you have to already know how to read music. So the way I got in is, or how I got recruited, if you will, one of the recruiting sergeants came to my dorm room. I was getting into it. I had a little jazz bass, Fender jazz bass. I think this was Squire actually. And I had my drum pad, and he came up there, and I played a little chords, and I played a little slap, you know, kind of knew what to play, and then I played some maybe complex rhythms. I probably put it like a metronome, and then had that going, and then, you know, and I kind of did some like, you know, syncopation stuff, and he was loving that. So that was, I think that was like, I want to say November, December-ish 2016. And then that whole 2017 year, I started reading music.
I wake up in the morning and thank you, God, for choosing me. My family is with me, there's food on the table, and I'm getting ready. And that's my family, and I won't change that. I know my way home, back to the crib. And Jesus, you're always there. Protecting us daily, the devil is shady. That's my family, and I won't change that. I know my way home, back to the crib. And Jesus, you're always there. Protecting us daily, the devil is shady. And got my mom's in the kitchen making breakfast. My pops on the grill, yeah, he's for real. And got my sisters in the back like, yeah. My baby brother somewhere watching Boss Baby. And everybody trying to see what I'm on, yeah. That's okay, cause I love them to death. They throw me down cause I'm not around. Hold up, now, please wait just a minute. I got my auntie, yo, they call her yo. She got the best candy yams I ever had. Shout out to my family all the way in Trinidad. TT, come home, I need you, we love you. I hope you tuned in, I'm on my way to come get you. Chassis, Lanisha, what good, what's up? STL has been real, but we got to go. Arvell, what you doing? Well, Shay, is you coming? Rihanna, ooh, that look good. Red, you taught me how to jig, let's go. Malik, J.R.'s, where you at? Wake up, Candy Lady, that's her name. She like to hustle. She got the best chicken all around downtown. I hope the fans hear me, cause I got something to say. Tell the captain of the ship to drop the Trojan free Aaron. Yeah. Ooh, and Jesus, you're always there. Protecting us daily, the devil is shady. That's my family, and I won't change that. I know my way home, back to the crib. And Jesus, you're always there. Protecting us daily, the devil is shady.
I went to Kansas State University and I was preparing to be an architect major, and I wanted to play basketball. So I wanted to walk on and I wanted to do all of that. And then I met this bass player, a good friend of mine out in Junction City. And I heard him playing bass, and he was a monster bass player. I was like, man, I want to be like that. I want to be a bass player. And there's a lack of bass players everywhere. But like, I remember going home, and I was like, okay, that dude was killing. And I remember going to the gym, and me and some friends, we were there for hours. And I was sitting on the sidelines with my Evolution ball, $75 ball. I was like talking to God, and I was like, man, I really don't want to do, I don't want to do basketball anymore, excuse me. And I was like, I just want to do music. So I called my mom, and she was like, well, just do it. I was like, I can't do music. There's no such thing as a music degree. She's like, why don't you just go check? And here it was a music degree. So that's that. I didn't know that I had to read music. I thought that, I just didn't know anything. I didn't even know they had a music major. So I just thought I can just play by ear. I guess I can say that I thought they were gonna teach me. I thought they were gonna teach me how to play piano, but that wasn't the case. They taught me theory. I remember taking music fundamentals, and that class, I couldn't get it. I didn't understand it, maybe because I don't know. But when I transitioned into music theory, it's like everything clicked. It's like when I was playing on piano, when I was playing on bass, I was blinded. But then theory came out, I started opening my eyes. Especially with drums, I started doing rhythms, and then it's just like all of that stuff that I'm hearing, I know how to do it. So the syncopations, the time, and it's literally, I look at it, it's like, it's one bass, and you can spread out. And still come back home when you need to come back home. Pocket is what they call it. But yeah, I started reading, and I was reading for the Army too, and then I was also reading in school. So I was originally an organ and piano major. So I was doing that. I was reading bass music because I was in bass lessons. Then I was doing bass in the Army, but I was also doing orchestral music. So quite a bit of reading for a newly, I don't know, I think I was like 20-year-old that's never been, introduced to reading music at all. So it was a fun experience. If I didn't go through that, then I wouldn't be an artist today. I had to go through that to become a piano major. And with that, I just used that music theory to learn and develop new instruments and new styles. I grew up in the church, so that's mostly gospel, the background I come from. But as a church musician, anybody that's a church musician or knows a church musician, that lifestyle it's wild, it's crazy. So I've never struggled with like drugs or alcohol or anything. It was just like just women. So like I just was just doing whatever, basically hooking up, if you will, G-rated with, just plenty of women, and I just never had a foundational relationship. I think when I got into college, I started seeing, okay, like this is a life, I'm living that life, and I don't really want to live that life. And I think you get bored and tired with it. And I think for me personally, it just was getting around, like going to Bible study and seeing other people that's like on fire for God and crazy for God, going crazy for God and actually seeking God's heart. So that's what really, promoted me to like, I need to do right and live this life pleasing to God.
I'm tired of playing games with these people. There's so much going on all around me. I'm trying to figure out where I fit in, but the truth is I don't fit in no more with these people. I'm riding solo by myself, just me. There's nobody else that I can really call on. The truth is I'm not wrong. I'm staying in, not staying out. They call me church boy and musician. Going crazy, went through many women. Them caramel skins is my weakness. Nia Long, Fresh Prince, making good, waist deep. Janet Jackson with the box braids. Gabrielle Union, bring it on, yeah. And that's my weakness, Jesus. You know that's my weakness. Yeah. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let sin go. I wanna let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let sin go. I wanna let it go. I'm back again and I'm coming for blood. Yeah, that's me, no, I ain't no thug. Southside, that's where I ride, that's where I was when I heard your lies. False guys, don't prophesy, don't tell me the lies, they'll build your pride. Fairy tales, no, I'm not a child, I'm a child of yours, but I'm grown now. Grown now, I said I'm grown now. Yeah, that's me, I said I'm grown now. 23 years, I'm on my jump man status, high class, no practice. Yeah, just keeping the blunt, no smoke at it. God, hear me out, please hear me out. It's just me and God with nobody else. Roll that. 50 years old, still playing games, trying to give advice, but can't take her wrong. Road deep drive, she working 9 to 5, she got time to grind, but her love is blind. I recognize the signs I read between the lines. You taught me something, yeah, you taught me something. I can't depend on you, that's why I left and drove straight through. It ain't right, but I ain't lose sleep. I pray to God for peace each day. Pray for peace each day. Lord, I need you now to move and make way. This ain't no diss track, I'm just keeping the buck. It's just me and God with nobody else. Yeah. Yeah, you know that's my weakness. You know that's my weakness. Whoa, yeah, you know that's my weakness. Yeah, whoa, yeah.
think it was about 2019 where I decided that I wanted to be an artist instead of a musician. So I mainly focus on songwriting and vocalizing now. I was never really a fan of covers. You know, that's no disrespect to anyone that does covers, but I just didn't feel like it fit me. And I just got bored with it. So I'm like, I have to make sure I'm playing this line, make sure I'm playing this, you know, these chords or these licks, you know, precisely. And it's like, you take that much time doing it. It's like, you can take that much time and create your own music. Someone told me, and I don't really remember who it was, they were like, man, like, why are you playing other people's music? You should be writing your own music. You can play drums, piano, bass, and you sing. And I thought, no way, like, I don't even like to sing. I just can sing. I just so happen to be able to sing, you know, gratefully. And I bought a bunch of equipment. I went to like Sweetwater and was like buying interfaces and microphones, and I started trying to do covers, and then I end up like making my own music, and I just started composing, and then I just got on a microphone. I was like, why don't I try it? And now I didn't have a clue about it, but it's like you get on a bike, you fall down, get back up, you know, keep doing it. So now I'm doing that. Now I have music on, you know, all streaming platforms, and I'm continuing to grow in my artist career. So I think that's the transition between back then to now, is that I'm solely doing my music. You know, I play a couple gigs, probably every blue black moon. 2020, I moved to New York for a little while. I didn't like it. No disrespect to New Yorkers out there, but I can't deal with rats. It's a lot of them. So I moved to Florida, Tampa, Florida, and I was loving that. It was, you know, beaches everywhere. It was just warm weather all the time. And I originally went down there so that I could start like composing music for Disney. So I wanted to get in that lane and still like be an artist. So I wanted to be making music and like putting theme songs on like TV shows, that type of route, you know, sync licenses and things like that. But COVID happened. So that sent me back to St. Louis. And I was like, man, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I just graduated college. Like, why should I shouldn't be at home. So that was another setback that I didn't mention. It was like, I should be out. And it's like, you know, I should be out here doing this, but not realizing that everyone else is at home with their parents. And, you know, my mom was like, you know, there are 40-year-olds that had to go back with their parents. You know, you just graduated college, chill out, bro. So I think that was just a hard time, just being around at home, because I was so used to being on my own. And then I'm the oldest of, you know, 5 of us. So my younger sibling is 8. Now we have to share. So I never had to really, I grew up as an only child. So that was more how I got to there. So I was like, okay, I got to figure out what I'm going to do. So then I was like, I got to go to Nashville. And it's like, if in the pandemic, I moved in the pandemic. So if something happens, then I could just get in my car and be back home. So I'm like, Nashville is where I need to be. That's where the songwriters are at. That's where the music is at. That's what I feel like. I just went to Guitar Center on a Saturday, and I drove back, and I was like, I gotta move there. Because I met so many songwriters, not just musicians, it was just a lot of songwriters. I'm like, man, that's the meal ticket right there. I need to be around songwriters. You know, I need to be around people that's moving and motivating. And I think 3 weeks later, I was in Nashville. I just packed my bag, packed my car, my piano, my bass, my drum pad, my mics, and I left. And I moved. So I've loved it ever since.
Started 9th grade back in private school days. Mama wanted change, so she sent me to a G to school. I lost touch with the homies, I was ridiculed. It's all good, I'm trying to live by the golden rule. I got hip to the game at a young age. The white girls go crazy. Yeah, they wanna have my baby. I started hooping in the gym, putting numbers on the clock board. Feeling myself, feet on the dashboard. Trying to shoot my shot like Kobe. Living life in the hood. I heard a lot of gunshots I never understood. Somebody ran up on my pops and tried to take them out. For God's glory, kill my pops, man, there's no doubt. There was plenty times I could have been wiped out. But now, God, he got a plan, I'm alive. I know that you're wide College days came around. 42 days left, I'm on a countdown. Riding eastbound with my cap and gown. Thank you God for helping me cross the finish line. It's about time that I press rewind. I'm on my way to praise Jesus like my homie Kanye. Yahweh, but this ain't no child's play. Attention, everyone, this is not a... He's the truth, I'm the proof. I'm still alive to see the sunshine. I'm trying to evangelize the Christian franchise. No time to play games with Christians who criticize. But that's the way it goes. That other stuff you got managed stuff stepped on. I'm alive and well, call it a